Even after 1.16, the Nether remains sad and lonely. The Soul Sand Valley, a desolate desert of sand and bone. A place that gives credence to the idea of the Nether having more life. Now it serves as a reminder that they might all be dead. Their souls and their bones locked within the earth forever. The forests, weeping, spindly, fungal forests that droop and sag, one barren, devoid of non-warped life. The piglins, a people who have an infatuation and great greed for gold, who are violent and know nothing but the harsh brutality of the Nether. Before we begin, as always there is an announcement. This video is a prologue to a trilogy of videos that I am extremely excited to make. Anyhow, remember to like and subscribe. It costs nothing and helps me out a ton. Enjoy the rest of the video. Minecraft is an interesting game. It had a surge in popularity between 2011 and 2015, a fall from grace between 2016 and 2018, and a triumphant return to form in 2019. There are multiple factors in Minecraft's resurgence, and don't think I've forgotten about them. That's for another video. But today, we are here to talk about the 1.16 Nether update, and how it will change the landscape of gaming forever. That's no understatement. This update is something a lot of game developers should take notes on. So why do I make this statement, that this will be revolutionising for gaming? Well, this update is a key example of the game developer being able to communicate with its community. Devs such as Dinnerbone have been very active on platforms like Twitter for years now, constantly updating and informing players on new features of the game. Some cases were back in 2011. If we fast forward to the present, we will begin to see that countless features of the Nether update are all drawn from within the very community of the game. Currently, there is little communication between developers and the community. Instead, companies will spurt out repeat cash grabs and not listen to helpful input from the very people they're trying to appeal to. Siri, what is the definition of consumer?
A person who purchases goods and services for personal use.
Yeah, I don't see many big names in the gaming industry caring about their consumers. They just hope products will be vacuumed off the shelves. Minecraft is a different case though, and they seem to genuinely care. And this almost guarantees success for their next update. Not to mention, this update is totally free for the game, not DLC, meaning you can enjoy the features totally free, and if you don't want to, you don't have to. Play on a prior version. So, let me get started with our first example, Nether Gold. The first example of this would be Nether Gold. Nether Gold is an extremely unique concept. Gens believe that gold has a rightful place in the overworld, but he wasn't opposed to adding it to the Nether. I have seen many devs, on the other hand, opposing the idea before it was added in Snapshot 20W11A. This suggestion was brought to the devs by Simply Sark on Twitter, and many others on a Minecraft feedback page, which is constantly under review and scrutiny by the developers. However, the recent decision to update the Nether and the inclusion of the gold-loving piglins doesn't mean gold ore in the Nether hasn't been a topic of conversation on public display for years already. In fact, a lot of mods saw whole varieties of ores added to the Nether, and fans have been pushing the idea for ages. The fact the Nether update was on the horizon was the perfect excuse to push it further. The community saw the Nether as a barren wasteland that was only useful for progression via the blaze rod. Implementing gold into the Nether would give us a reason to mine and also give less use for complex pigment farms that may trouble the likes of noobs or players that find the process too monotonous. The idea was eventually pushed to the point where it was added to the game, showing how influential the community can be over developers that care greatly for the future of their product. As you can tell by the runtime, however, this video doesn't stop at Nether Gold. I wouldn't even make a video about Nether Gold specifically. Anyway, let's move on to our next point. The introduction of new wood forms that don't burn gave the community an interesting thought. Boats for the Nether. I mean, it made sense, right? The lava lakes are one of the worst obstacles to cross in the Nether, so having a more efficient way to travel across them would make tons of sense, right? Well, as always, people were encouraged to check out the feedback page, but nothing came from the developers about the elusive lava boats. The implementation of a netherite shovel as an ore was thrown into the equation, and modders were already ready to program. Probably. Now, as we all may know, Minecraft is a very secretive company that keeps their plans close to their chest. Then they released the features in an explosion. Boom! Snapshot 20W13A. With this came the Strider, a monumental addition. It was the very Minecrafty version of boats for the Nether. It was fun, cute, and required enough progression to justify being able to cross a lake of molten lava. This once again reinforced the idea that our community voice can be heard, and when we are met with silence, matters may be being dealt with privately. Let's now jump back a bit, to Minecon 2019, where the next big version of Minecraft was unveiled.
We wanted to introduce biomes to the Nether.
Yes, so we will actually show some of them today, and the first one is the Soul Sand Valley.
Catch that?
So we will actually show some of them today.
The community took Lady Agnes' slip-up as solid proof we would be getting more biomes in the Nether aside from the free revealed at Minecon. I mean, how could we not? It was pretty damn definitive, but I'm not here to blame Agnes, she is an amazing developer. It just began a small pool of animosity between us as a community and the development team. Dinnerbone said that another biome was unlikely, and community manager Helen Angel confirmed no new biomes. This was a terrible move in my opinion, and the banks the pool had created began to slowly erode in. Agnes apologised in the future for another biome was grim. We had plunged into a lake of disappointment. We began to settle for the 3 new ones and enjoyed them for what they were. No more Nether biomes, it seemed, set in stone. Then boom! Snapshot 20W50. Hey, let's go, baby! Minecraft didn't just say, sorry, oof, misspeak goes woo. They went, yeah, sorry, here's a new biome. Basalt Deltas. Oh my god, thank you so much, you listened. Oh, that's not enough? No, we are so grateful. Well, too fucking bad. Here's a stone black variant even asking people since stone existed. The decision on their part to not only add a new biome to appease fans and correct a mistake, but also to add a new stone variant is not only shocking, but also such a Minecraft thing to do. One of the main things the devs wanted for the update was to ensure it was possible for a player to live solely in the Nether. Blackstone provided this. They didn't need to add bricks though, and polished variants too, yet they did. It is clear now that this is the time for our voices to be heard. For so long we've been asking for features of this magnitude and nothing has been delivered. Now is the time of the fandom, and it's time for others to follow suit. So yeah, Minecraft definitely did the right thing here in correcting a mistake. Speaking of mistakes, our next example is one that corrects a mistake so ancient it precedes the ages of some of the player base at this current point in time. The ruined portals, a very old fan suggestion that has persisted through time and plagued the devs up until it felt just right to implement it. Think of it this way, you really want people to go to the Nether and explore it, but you don't have anything to attract the players there, and there is a possibility that players have no idea the thing even exists. The suggestion that destroyed Nether portals should be placed around the overworld was a necessary step in this plan, and executed its job as the second half of it to the maximum. It gives a hint to the noobs on how to enter the Nether. If we check the Minecraft achievement system, we will find that under 20% of the community have actually reached the Nether. This was a massive stride to drastically increase those numbers. Subliminal messages are sent to the player when they see a portal. Number 1. Obsidian in a door shape. Number 2. Something involving fire. Number 3. This can then be correlated to the flint and steel. Number 4. Light the door. Number 5. Huzzah! It not only gives new players or returning players the opportunity to explore new realms and layers of the game, but it also gives occasional/casual players who know a fair bit about the game an inclination of what this update is all about. Not to mention how sick they look. I mean, this giant one is awesome. Once again, the devs overdo themselves and ascend above our expectations. It's kind of ironic I end my selection of points with one of the earliest suggestions too. So, let me conclude this video. The Nether update as a whole is a massive love letter to the community. The Nether update was actually a fan suggestion posted on the feedback site a couple years back, so Mojang are hard at work years before the events even occur for us. But we must keep in mind that a majority of these features would not be here would it not be for the voice of the community. And this is why I believe this update will influence gaming forever. It is an update that puts itself in the hands of the fans, and the result is a stunning blend of both developer and consumer. Those words are really annoying since they don't really get across the bond Mojang and the fanbase have. Either way, I'm positive this update will do tremendously across all platforms, whether that be YouTube, Twitch, etc. And if it does succeed, a message will be sent. Listen to the damn community! Anyhow, I've been Devzy, I've loved having you. Remember to like, subscribe, it's totally free, helps me out a ton, and peace. So this is going in bloopers.